you immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
This is our moment to deal working people back into the economy. This is our moment to prove the American people that their government works for them, not just for the big corporations or those at the very top.
Wow. Can you imagine? You know, what really angers me about that statement, he knows that every time you raise corporate taxes and every time you raise capital gains, it doesn't hurt the corporations. It doesn't hurt the very people at the top. It hurts the regular guy on the street. It kills them. Because the corporations, any kind of a tax increase that they have to pay, when they sell you a good, whether it's a pair of shoes or anything else, that increase goes into that product. He knows this. He's been in Washington 50 years. He knows this. He knows that Bill Clinton, when he raised rates, the corporate tax rate, he knows when Bill Clinton raised the capital gains rate, and Clinton's a quick study, he saw money that was supposed to go to Treasury drying up. The revenue, federal tax revenue, was contracting. He knows that. Biden knows that. See, it's all about politics. To say that we're going after the rich, he's trying to please AOC and her crew. He's trying to please her base. He's lying to them because he was there when Bill Clinton turned around and he raised rates back up, and the amount of money that was the federal taxes that were collected went up by 59%, because when you cut taxes for corporations and you cut capital gains, investors, they get enthusiastic. They have a reason to take a risk. We talked about that yesterday. You have a reason to take a risk to do a startup business, which is all risk. See, Biden has never taken a risk in his life. He's been sucking off the government his whole life, getting a paycheck from the government his whole life for 50 years. He's never taken a risk. But he knows this. He knows this. He knows you got to keep cutting rates. And you got to keep cutting the capital gains to get investors to get enthusiastic about investing. And when they invest, that's when the economy grows. That's when jobs grow. And listen to what he says about jobs.
This is our moment to deal working people back into the economy.
Working people aren't going back into the economy when you raise rates. When you raise corporate tax rates and capital gains, jobs or job creation gets hit first. When a person is ready to start up a business and he sees the new capital gains rate, he's not going to start that business. And all of our labor, new jobs, come from startups. And the mid, small, and mid existing businesses, mid-cap businesses, they grow and expand and hire more people as long as there's money available to borrow at good rates. And they will take the risk, the entrepreneur, and they'll buy new equipment and everything else and plow it back into that existing or small business. They'll do that. And if the capital gains rate is low, that means his reward's going to be worth the risk. But when you take that reward away and you want him to take all the risk with no reward, he's not going to buy new equipment. If he doesn't buy new equipment, your productivity as a worker doesn't increase, and you're not going to get a pay raise. And when you don't get a pay raise, you don't spend. And spending is 72% of economic GDP. Why do you think right now the biggest problem, they keep telling us that today, you're hearing on all the fake business news network, why the market's down again today. Quadruple witching, that's why it's down. That's a bunch of nonsense. What is quadruple witching anyways? Look, when you take, well, here, let's think of it this way here. Anytime that the tradition, okay, during quarterly months, it's always been a tradition, during quarterly months of March, June, September, and December, okay, there's contracts called derivatives, which relate to stock index futures. Also, stock index options, just straight stock options, and single stock futures. Now, they all expire at the same time. The process is called, and still is today, quadruple witching. Now, as a result of this happening in March, June, September, December of each year, we're in September, uncertainty would set in during those months. But no longer. Hey, that's no longer the truth anymore. Why? Because ever since there's been an interference. Listen, ever since financial engineering was created, QE, stock buybacks. Also, when spending and printing replaces spending and productivity, uncertainty will set in. It will set into the marketplace. When you have this economic manipulation of QE, stocks, buybacks, all that stuff, just forget about all this quadruple witching. Because the quadruple witching, there's no effect on that anymore. That doesn't create a negative effect. So don't believe that. That's not what they're worrying about today. Financial engineering has taken away the risk or the worry of quadruple witching that happens again every March, June, September, December. I mean, when those options expired all at the same time, there was a lot of uncertainty. But there's no uncertainty today because we have QE, we have stock buybacks. That's a bunch of crap. What they're really worried about today, right now, is what's going on with the banks. That's right, what's going on with the banks. That's what Wall Street is worried about because they're not leading anymore. They're not leading the market. Remember what leads the stock market? The leadership is always banks and always big tech. And banks and big tech is not leading. This is the worry in the market today, not the stupid quadruple witching. Nobody cares about that. It's the fact that the banks aren't leading and the big tech stocks aren't leading anymore. That's the real worry. And why aren't they? There's a lot of reasons. First of all, it's not the tapering. Nobody's worrying about the tapering. When they tell you, oh, it's all about tapering, we're worried about tapering, we're worried about them raising rates. That's as much a bunch of nonsense as people are worrying today about triple witching or quadruple witching. Both of those aren't a worry. The real worry, I'll talk about when I get back. And the biggest worry is what's going to happen to our banks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night. You don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
The unfolding of a market crash. If you don't think the stock market's going to crash, then you got to be nuts. This is going to be one of the biggest crashes ever. Just because they're stimulating the economy, they're plugging money in, keep driving up the debt. No, the market is going to crash. I bring you evidence every Friday on my YouTube channel. I review the week and tell you why we're getting closer to crash. So don't miss it. It's free for everyone. Go to my YouTube channel, Phil's Gang YouTube channel. And remember, that's this Friday, today. We'll be posting at 6:30. And it's free for everybody between 6:30 and 7. It's free for everybody. You don't have to be a gang member. My take on the market as to what is going on and why we're getting closer to that 10% correction we're going to get first. And then we'll rally back up for a while, hold for a while, and then we'll get a crash of about 50 to 70%. It's going to happen. I mean, the proof is in. The proof is in. And that's why I have to laugh today when I hear on the fake business news networks how it's quadruple witching today. And boy, that's what's making the market go down. That's why we're down another 165 points. That's a bunch of nonsense. Those days of March, June, September, December, where all the contracts, which called derivatives, all the stock index futures and options, and it would all expire at the same time. It would get the investors unsettled. That's gone. Nobody cares about that anymore. Why would they care about that when we have financial engineering, quantitative easing, we have stock buybacks? What are you, nuts? Who cares about quadruple witching? That's a bunch of nonsense. Here's the real worry today. Why the market's down. It's not that they're worrying that Powell may start tapering the $125 billion a month that he goes and he buys 10-year treasuries with so that he can turn around and keep interest rates low. People are worried, he's going to raise rates. That is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. That's not why the market's down. They know that's not going to happen. Remember, that we've been doing this since 2008. And in 2014, when they were supposed to stop it, they extended it. They increased it from 85 billion printing a month to 125 billion a month, and they just increased it another 50 billion. I think about another. It was about another 40%. I think they increased on top of 125 billion a month, or that's what they're anticipating to increase another 40%. Oh, they're not going to taper. Let me tell you what the worry of the real taper worry is. The real taper worry. What they're really worried about is all the tapering of the money they've been sending out to cover rent for people, to cover utilities. See, that's the tapering they're worrying about, because that is tapering. They are cutting all that back. The money's been keeping this economy going since March of 2020 to where we are today. Stimulus. That's the tapering you got to be worried about. Because that money to cover rent and utilities, they've already tapered that back. And soon it's going to be ended. They're already tapering back the extra $300 of work they were giving to 7.5 million people who were able to stay at home, because not only did they get their $300 state unemployment check each week, they got from the federal government another $300 check a week to put with that $300. So they're getting $600 to stay home. $600 to stay home. Guess what? That ended. That's been tapered back. See, here's the real tapering. This is the tapering you got to worry about. Not tapering so where interest rates are going to go up. What are you, nuts? That's not going to happen. People are worried about that. Another big tapering problem, why the market's not doing well. The big taper worry? Tapering of loans. That's right. The forbearance. That's going to stop. That ends in November. No more loan forbearance. That ends in November. And don't forget, what else ends in December? What are they tapering in December? The student loan forbearance. And then finally, the mortgage forbearance. That totally is gone in March. So that's the tapering you got to be looking at, because all that money has kept the market moving. That's what stimulus is. It stimulates the market. And now what's that mean? That means the banks are going to get hit. The banks, remember, everybody thinks the banks are out there just lending all kinds of money to anybody. That's not true. It's hard to get a loan, and it's going to get harder. And right now, they're really tapering back on loans because they know that that money that's no longer going to be out there driving this economy. They're worried about defaults on loans in their banks. So the banks are making lending harder. Don't forget, they also are worried about the student loans. The student loans. That's another big problem. Because remember, that's over too. No more is the government stepping in to take care of the student loans. That's gonna be over. That's gonna be over. So banks right now, their lending policies are getting tougher and tougher. And you can see it in the market. You can see it in the market. When you look at the stock market, what should be lending should be the banks. I mean, leading the market should be the banks, and it's not. And what should be leading the market are the big tech stocks. And they're not. Instead, we got the semiconductors leading. What are you, nuts? You got semi and energy leading the market instead of banks and big tech? That's a real problem. So with all this other tapering happening, really happening, all this money they've been giving out free for stimulus, that's all done. Now here's another problem they're worried about. Go back and take a look. If you look at the market when it crashed in February of 2020, it dropped to March of 2020. And remember, from March to where we are today, the market went up about 130%. Well, how'd the market go up? Because you had a handful of tech stocks that benefited when the economy closed. You had Zoom went up 130%. DocuSign up 60%. You had Datadog, DDOG, up 80%. You had EVBG, Everbridge, up 100% that stock. W, Home Decor, went up 100%. Shop went up 85%. And then our favorites, Apple went up 160%, Microsoft 126%, Amazon 108%, Google 188%, Facebook 159%, Netflix 100%. That's what drove that market up. But now what's happening? I'll explain when we get back. There's a big change here now.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang free for 10 days. Go to philsgang.com. Click where it says Working Investor Group. Now, we know by looking at our chart at any one given time if the money is going into a stock or money is going out. So the fear right now that everybody has that the market's going to crash, the problem is only 20% of the people in the stock market make money consistently. The difference between the 20% who make money consistently and the 80% who lose consistently is the 80% don't have the tools. What's that mean? That means, for example, every time that a stock goes up and you're enjoying it's going up, you should be of the mindset, I don't really care if it goes down. In fact, you should always be of the mindset to get into the 20% club, to get out of your 80% to the 20% club, you got to be in a position where you always say, I don't give a damn if the market's going up or if it's going down. Because why? Because you follow the money. Here, I'll give you an example. Take for example, BMY, Bristol Myers. Now, when Bristol Myers went up, it went up about, about 7%. Went up about 7%. And then we got a warning. We got a warning to get out of the stock because we got a heads up, call to action. Our chart turned yellow. The candlesticks turned yellow. Nobody else has this because this we patent turned yellow. So it told us the institutions were taking their money out. That means the stock of Bristol Myers was going to stop going up and start going down. So my members just turned around and switched their position, and they made money on the way down. So they made 10% on the way down. So they made their money on the way up, 7%, made 10% on the way down of Bristol Myers. That's the position you got to be. If you're not in that position, you're always going to be in the 80% club. Give you another example. Let's take DAL, Delta Airlines. Same thing. When the market went up about 19%, or the stock, went up about 19%, our members knew exactly when to turn around and get out of that stock because the color-coded chart always gives you a call to action. See, what pushes the stocks up and the market up is the flow of money. That's all you need to follow. You don't have to worry about the fundamentals. You don't have to know price to sales book. You don't have to know free cash flow. You don't have to know margin. You don't have to know any of that. When you're in a stock, the algorithms are set up so the color will change. And try it for 10 days. It's free. You see it works. So the same thing, as I said, with Delta Airlines. The members who were in Delta Airlines, when it went up 19%, they knew when to get out. But instead of just getting out and look for another stock, if you know your stock's going down, for heaven's sakes, why would you just turn around and make money on the way down? You're getting out because you believe the stock's going down, right? So just switch your position. It's that easy. It's that easy. Now, let's take for example, if you don't have that chart. Now let's listen to Kramer.
My question is regarding a local utility company called NiSource, ticker NI. They have
there's a stock I want to own for everyone with good dividends, fantastic management. Bye.
I want to own that stock. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Bye. Now, do you know when he said that? He said that, if I'm correct, that was on September 14th. Tuesday. That's what he said. Bye. I love the management. Bye. But do you know this stock turned red? Actually, before it turned red, it went from red to green, green to yellow back in June. In June, it was giving us a heads up, a call to action. Money was coming out of that stock. And then it turned red. It started to turn red back on June 30th. And then finally, the stock went up a little bit. It was still red. And then it collapsed. It started to drop the stock from a high of about $25.76. And it dropped to where it is today, $24.05. So he had him get in this stock in the middle of money exiting from that stock. And he's telling them to buy. He's telling them to buy a stock that money is coming out of. Take a look at it. If you have a mobile device, look, I got the stock up, all red. So this poor guy, he was giving this advice, getting killed. He's getting killed. Why? What's the difference? Because Kramer and guys like him, they buy on fundamentals. It's all fundamentals. I know the manager of the company. So what? I know a lot of managers of public companies. I wouldn't give them 2 cents. 401k managers, they're the worst. They're the worst. So the point I'm making is, everybody is saying that as this market keeps going up every day, that, they're worried. But you don't have to be worried. You don't. We have people in the spiders, the S&P 500, and we have people in the big tech stocks, the Qs, or XLK. Both are still trending up. Both are still green. We know they're going to collapse, but we don't have to worry about it. We'll get out in time, and not only get out, but the money that we're making on the way up in both the Qs, in both the spiders, we'll get a call to action when it's going to turn on us, and it's going to start going back down, because the algorithms pick up the money coming back out of the stock, which turns it yellow and then eventually red, and so we're making money as it goes down. Just think about it. When you get to that point, whether an individual stock or the stock market, you don't have to care one bit. You could care less what's going on in Washington. You could care less what's going on. You could care less what the decisions are being made by the Fed or by those gangsters in Washington, our Congress. You could care less, because you're going to make money no matter if it goes up or down. But only 20% do that. It's so hard to convince people of it. So try it. 10 days free. And what you'll say, and I hear from my members all the time who join, God, I wish I'd known about this. The first time, I really don't care anymore what the market does, because it doesn't make any difference to me. Because finally, for the first time in my life, when the market's going down or stock is going down, I'm making money. When it goes back up, I'm making money. Because that's how strong this chart is. That's how strong the algorithms are. And it works. The color-coded technology, the best in the world, is applied to that chart, and it works. So, the biggest problem you have right now is this, is that all these stocks that went up, that drove the market, when the market dropped 31% from February 2020 to March 2020, and then we had a 130% rally. Remember, DocuSign, Zoom, Datadog, all these stocks, Netflix, Apple, all these stocks were making a fortune because the economy was closed. You can't sustain those earnings anymore because the economy is open. Those are the same stocks that are going to bring this market down, the big tech stocks, and we're seeing that now. We're seeing that with Apple. How can you sustain those same earnings? Apple went up 160%. Why did it go up 160%? Because the economy was closed. It's not anymore. Don't you want to know when you get out of your stock, Apple? Well, now you'll know. Try it out. Check it out. 10 days free. The chart works.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month? philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grande and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up to the minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine, Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Warning: Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the .com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month, philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grande and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Then go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Now, we used to be at a point that you and I used to be called price discovery. We would determine the price of a stock because we would bid against each other. That was before the Federal Reserve and Wall Street interfered into the stock market and rigged it with financial engineering, QE, stock buybacks, monetization of debt of corporations, the government. And that's why I have to laugh today when they're talking about the reason why the market's down because of double witching. Because all the expiration dates, everything, all the dates are at the same day. Everything expires, all the options expire the same day. Of course, years ago, that was a big deal. No more. What difference does it make? They're going to engineer the market up anyways. So that's not what people are worried about. What people are worried about is, again, the banks. The banks right now, they're not leading, nor are the big tech stocks. Now, we're in bank stocks and we're in tech stocks. We're in the Qs. But the difference between you and my members is this, is as the Qs keep going up, we will get a heads up when money starts coming out of the Qs, or XLK, the big tech ETF. It'll turn yellow. It'll tell us money is coming out. So they'll be able to capture their profit, don't have to worry about it, and then they just switch their position. I mean, it's as easy, if you can click on a button, a switch in your house, like that, on and off. I don't understand why, if you're in Apple and you're up 33%, and now you get a warning that the institutions are pulling their money out of Apple, and they're going to put it somewhere else, why would you get out of Apple and not just say, okay, I'm going to turn my position just the opposite and make money on the way down, because you don't have confidence? This chart will give you the confidence. Try it for 10 days. It's free. It'll give you that confidence. And then that will put you in a position that you don't care. You could care less what the economy's doing. As an investor, you could care less what the stock market's doing, because you will be part of the 20% who always make money consistently, because you know when to get out. And if a stock, and think about what's going on, if you take all those big tech stocks, that's what's going to drive the stock market down. So if you were in Zoom and we're up 130%, if you were in Document, up 60%. If you were in Datadog, DDOG, up 80%. Everbridge, up 100%. The home decorating company, W, or Shop, up 85%. Apple, 160%. Why do you think those are up? Because from March of 2020 to where we are today, it was all that stimulus. The stimulus programs. That's what drove it. Not earnings, not profits. It was all that stimulus. So what's going to drive it now? So if Apple is up 160%, what do you think? It's going to go up just another 160% because it's Apple? Yes, most people think that. If you ask 10 people, probably only one person would say, oh, no, I'd be worried. 9 people would say, oh, no, it'll keep going up because it's Apple. They always go up. That's what they'll say to you. It'll always go up. I know. I've talked to people when I go to the car wash and people in town here. They say, Phil, let me ask you, what about Apple? Should I get out of Apple? And I tell them the same thing I'm saying right now on the air. Yes. When you get the signal, a call to action, get out. And they say, well, what's that mean? Well, I have a chart that'll tell you the institutions, the big banks, the big insurance companies, okay, all the big boys who have money in Apple, they're going to start pulling it out. And when they start pulling it out, we get a call to action based on the algorithms, based on our color-coded technology. It turns yellow and tells you, heads up, better start taking money out because the big boys are. Then it'll turn red. But instead of just walking away and look for another overpriced stock, that's ridiculous. We just turn around and switch our position. And that's the difference. That switching of position is the difference between the 80% people who lose money consistently and the 20% people who make money consistently. Go to my site. Check it out. You get free for 10 days. It does work. If you really believe, if you think about over the last year, housing is another big problem. You know this big housing boom they talked about? There was no housing boom. The housing boom was, everybody thinks it's like the housing boom we had back in 2002, 2006. No, it's not. The housing boom is over. Prices are start coming down. Housing stocks are coming down now. Why? Because the only people that are buying houses were in those states or those cities, the liberal cities, like New York and the rest of them, that let riots go on and defund the cops, and people wanted to get out. And who are the people getting out? The people who were making high incomes, the higher middle class. They went to the suburbs. They bought homes. But that's done now. It's done. So what do you think? That stock is just going to keep going up like magic? Apple is done. Apple is done. All these big tech stocks all the housing stocks, they just don't go up by magic. But you got these people coming into the market, they're tourists, and they're going to keep buying Apple. They're going to keep buying Microsoft. They're going to keep buying, they have no clue. They're going to keep buying Docu. They're going to keep buying Zoom. They think it's magic, just going to keep going up. And they're going to lose because they will not know when to get out of that stock. So we got a housing problem. The housing market's going to collapse. That housing market was nowhere near the big housing market we had. It was a small segment that participated. And same with our stocks. But the biggest problem is the inflation. Do you know, right now, if you go back and look, today we have inflation where we had the Volcker raised rates to 16% back in 1981 to break the back of inflation. You know, our inflation is the same now as when Volcker raised rates to 16% to break the back of inflation. That's right. Our inflation right now is the same as when Volcker, back in 1981, to break the back of inflation, you have to, he raised rates to 16%. But we're just sitting, it's okay. Apple keeps going up. Microsoft keeps going up. I'm just going to keep putting money in. And people yawn. And they're going to be part of the 80%. That's a big problem right now. The inflation. And the more proof that they're not going to raise rates, I'll give you more proof they're not going to raise rates. The Federal Reserve has switched from purchasing 30-year treasuries to purchasing 10-year treasuries. They wouldn't do that if they're going to raise rates. What are you, nuts? And the banks, they're the real big problem, the banks. And if you look on any chart, especially my chart, you'll see the banks are struggling, just like big tech is struggling. And when you look at the 10-year treasury yields, when they start going up, the banks don't follow. And when they start going down, the techs don't go up. Remember, techs go up when treasuries go down. Bank stocks go up when yields go up. Bank stocks go up. When yields go down, tech go down. And they're not doing it, either one. But people are just so complacent right now. That's what happened right before the dot-com crash. People are complacent. That's what happened before the housing crash. People are complacent. They're more complacent now than they were back then. Oh, and I see, and they're worried about quadruple witching. Are you nuts, quadruple witching? In a market that's rigged? Small businesses. Look what the banks are doing. The banks are going to be giving loans to small businesses. What are you, nuts? Especially startup businesses. And that's the backbone of our economy. It's hard enough to get any kind of loan at the bank today. And because the bankers understand that all the stimulus where they're letting people go behind on their payments, and let people go behind on their rent, and the government send checks, and the government send another stimulus check for $300, another stimulus check for $1,400. That's over. That's been keeping the economy going. I mean, stimulus identifies an economy in trouble, but they have taken parking space in everyone's head. Stimulus means economy's wonderful. Can you imagine that? Stimulus identifies economy is dead, dead, dead. But they've been able to take parking space in everyone's head that the word stimulus means the economy's fantastic. They take parking space in everyone's head that when rates are low, the economy's fantastic. No, when rates are high, the economy is good. Look, we don't care one way or the other what the economy is doing. You should join us to be part of the 20% instead of the part of the 80%. Free for 10 days. Check it out, and make sure tonight you check out my YouTube channel, The Unfolding of the Stock Market Crash.
With your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to